Boom, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We are this year going to do the first executive protection symposium, right? So many of you know that I've been doing the Protector Symposium for quite a few years, and it's been awesome, man. Like, we've been able to really change people's lives, but this year we're going to aim at something a little bit different. I've been wanting to do this forever, and I'm going to use the skills I learned from the first event to do this. This is going to be an event aimed at executive protection professionals. This is going to be an event aimed at agents and management level, team leaders, and folks that are building their careers. I wanted to create an event that had extreme value to us. You know what I mean? So like, we're out in the industry, we go to events, and why do we go to these events? Because of networking, right? What if I could create an event that supercharged the networking impact on your career and those relationships? This event, the EP Symposium, is designed to do that. I will get you in front of hiring managers. You will be able to get your professional photo taken on site. You will have a number of experiences with those same hiring managers that will help you be identified to be hired. There's going to be multiple sub-networking events inside this event. You're going to have the opportunity to train if you want to and get certifications that you maybe didn't have enough time to get during the year. Plus up on some medical certs, take a pistol course, take a number of different courses that we can knock out in the course of a day, and just plus up your training jacket so you walk away with definite, validated, value to take out into the industry to make you even more hireable. And let these training directors see you, right? Have industry conversations that are led by the crowd, so you're not just sitting there watching PowerPoint presentations the whole time and wondering if you're getting value. This event is carefully crafted to get value to the agent on the ground and team leaders so that we can find each other, get work, and have the most valuable careers of our lives in the protection industry. There's never been anything like this. We're going to focus on hard skills and soft skills. And if you really want to, you'll also get a chance to compete in the Protector Games and find out where you stack up in the industry. But that's not for everyone. You don't have to participate in it. But I can't wait to bring you the EP Symposium coming to you this year. Hit the links below, sign up, early bird prices, all the madness. We're just warming up, we're just getting started. This is gonna be amazing. God bless Semper Fi, more to come. Boom, what's up, y'all? Here we are again. Another awesome episode of the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast. You know I'm excited anytime Elijah Shaw comes and join your boy, man.
What up, Byron? I feel like I just saw you, which I kind of did because,
That's what's up. No, we be getting after it. And, I think we have a good lineage on this podcast of just having good episodes, man. The flow is always good, The
stats are good?
The stats are definitely good. So I'm always excited when you got some time to holler at your boy,
So thank you for inviting me, though. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. 100%. So, we've talked. People I know everybody in the game knows who you are, but just to honor those who might be just tuning in, just a little quick background, then I'll touch on it, and then we'll get up into the nuts and bolts of this thing real quick.
So, well, I'm not going to make any assumption that everyone knows who I am.
Let's go.
What I will say is my name is Elijah Shaw. I own a company called Icon Global Inc., and I have been in the profession for, I think this is year 31 now. Might be 32, but year 31, I believe. And that's 31 years where the only thing I've ever done, meaning right out of college, has been some type of security work, mostly focused in the executive protection sectors. In 1998, I started my own company, which is Icon. And I've been doing this ever since. So, and in my travels, I'm actively in the field. Means I work with clients on a daily basis, high net worth individuals. And then I also run the company itself, Icon. And then the last part of that is I do a training course. So I teach executive protection training with a focus on working with celebrities and other high profile individuals. And that course has been going on for over a decade now. So I think we've established some type of legacy. Some people find value to what I talk about. And I'm just happy to continue that on and be able to kind of give back to the industry.
Yep.
That was a
Boom.
lot of words, bro. A lot of
No,
words,
but that
man.
was great, man. That was great. I'm always taking notes when you're talking, man.
Feel free to cut any of that out that you need to for time.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, man. I mean, people, I am very often a lot of the world's first contact with our industry because I have that specialization in creating content.
Mhm.
And that's where I've really focused is that edutainment aspect of the industry, and
Mm.
so, I just want people to know, like, I'm good at what I do and I love what I do. And for some perspective, Elijah started doing this when I was 8, dog. Yeah, I'm saying, like, when I was 8, y'all, you know what I'm saying? So when y'all in my videos, like, you're the best and stuff, like, I thank you for the props. I do the best I can, and I'm good at it. But like this is one of my big brothers in the game, so y'all just understand that as we get.
Now, for clarity, I might have been doing it when you were 8. Doesn't mean I was doing it well. But what I can say is that time allowed me to make a lot of mistakes and then hopefully learn from those mistakes. There was trial and error for a big part of my career, but then I was trying to but I kind of pride myself on being able to try and distill the things that work, particularly for the sectors of space that I work in, and being able to kind of discard all of the fantasy football stuff so that it's real and tangible. And again, it served me for my career. And it's helped me establish some type of brand, some type of presence in the space. But most importantly, it's allowed me to provide some insight and opportunities for others that are interested in getting into space or doing work in the space and just want to get better.
100%. No, and I love that. And I love that about you. And I do make that mindset of always wanting to get better and understanding like how I can make it better. That whole mindset you just described that you have is such an important part of staying power in this game and continuing to evolve and continuing to make valuable contributions, man. So if you guys are trying to be leaders in the industry, on your teams, right? Maybe even just in your home, just understand you can't take people farther than you've taken them. And you ain't going to go very far if you can't look in the mirror and first and foremost, understand where you can improve. So this we always be getting a little deep on them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. Jules, though.
So I'm super stoked. Elijah is going to be one of our elite instructors for the EP Expo that's coming up here, coming up really fast.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I was like, yo, I hope Elijah can come out because you're usually so busy. It's like refueling in midair trying to get these things to work out.
But with that said, though, bro, anytime I can support your endeavors, I try to. One, because they're fresh. Thank you. And the people that come to it, traditionally come to it with an open mind. They're there to learn. They have various degrees of expertise, but they're not jaded or approach a thing as if they're just checking boxes. And I think that's great. So, when I go to your events and we get a chance to talk, and usually the formats have been non-traditional, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit later.
Your boy.
But what it allows us to do is to be able to engage in conversations with people that, I might not have a time to be able to talk to when I'm operational. I'm out in the field and I'm moving, and that happens sometimes. I'll see somebody at an event or I'll be in a restaurant with the P and they'll recognize me. And, I can't be as warm or inviting and, or a social.
Yeah, we can't engage really.
Exactly, because we're working, and I call it the gift and the curse. Hey, I wrote a book. That's great. I want people to buy the book. But when I'm out in the field, it's the way I was able to write the book because I'm actually doing the work. So I say all to say is that going to an event like yours, I like it because I can meet these people that I only know virtually on the socials or something or see in passing and be able to kind of engage in dialogue.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. And that's literally one of my favorite parts about having these in-person events, man, because you can finally shake hands with people, see them face to face. And the things that I hear are such a blessing. And I'm saying this for you guys that have said things to me in the past, and I know Elijah's the same way. It's such a blessing when somebody comes up and is like, yo, like I just had a conversation yesterday. Hey, you inspired me to get into this industry. And, I'm now able to provide for my family, blah, 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 blah. I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I would even, I have a civilian background. I didn't know I would even be able to do this. But then your content, that episode with Elijah, inspired me. Now I have a whole new life and da da da. So like being able to come and meet and hang out and spend time with people is extremely valuable. You said something else that was powerful too, real quick. Just jump real quick into the next topic. Not next topic, but a caveat was you're out there doing the work, and that was one of we have, I want to say 7 instructors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instructors for this event. And that was one of the main things I really wanted to do is I wanted to bring something fresh to the industry. I wanted people to get a look at other folks that are out there doing it in different quadrants, in different client demographics, aspect of the game, and that are really out there doing it right now, that aren't retired. They have a pulse on what the game is like right now, and like can literally physically protect you. See, that was one of my I love looking at my lineup, and I'm like, every dude on here is a juggernaut. I was saying like a real life one, right now.
But let me say that the reason why I know that works is because when I saw the lineup, and again, I'm excluding myself from that category, I was like, oh shit, these are people that I don't want to hear from. These are people who I'm interested in. And so I think, being able to, for me to feel like that, others will feel like that as well. And I want to just take it back for a second here, which is you've been able to put something together and create something great. And it benefits certain demographics, people that are new, people that are interested in getting into the industry, people that have an open mind. But you have a wide reach. So you're going to have detractors. You're going to have some people who are going to go, that's a waste of money, or why am I spending time, or who are these people to teach me? That's fine. That's not your audience. Right. Your audience is that one person that you reference that said, hey, listening to you or the interactions I made helped me develop a career or go in the right direction. That's the person. That's the thing that makes it worthwhile. And so the people who don't get it, that means it's just not for you, which is great. When you go in a supermarket, there's tons of different jellies. There's tons of, you know what I mean? Like,
find your jelly.
Yeah, get the peanut butter that you like, bro. You know what I mean? Right. So that's fine. It doesn't mean all the other peanut butter, you got to throw it away. Yeah. It just means you just keep walking down the aisle. And so I salute you for that, bro. And I want you to keep doing the things that you're doing and refine them, make them better. You know what I mean? And we talk offline a lot. So we have those conversations about how to get better. The conversations aren't like, how to make more money and such and such. The conversations are like how to be better service oriented.
Yep. How can I contribute? How can we contribute on higher and higher levels? And as we roll into this.
Did I get deep again? I'm sorry, my fault.
No. This is the good stuff. That's the good stuff, man. I mean, it's tempting, but let me just touch on it real quick. If you guys focus on your contributions, your gift will make room for you, and it will make room for you before kings. That's the whole entire game. We'll get into a topic here in a few minutes about, starting where you're at and ministering or serving people that maybe aren't where you're at, that are at a stage you just came from and not needing to be perfect in order to start contributing. I want to create a world where everyone's contributing something of value, right? But real quick, while we're still close to the event, obviously, maybe give them a little bit of what you're excited to talk about, the structure, in fact, you kind of helped me come up with the structure, when it comes to the presentations on day one, and I'll touch on it a little bit. On day one, it's going to be the hard skills day. Right? You're going to have an option to go in and do the protector games, compete against other professionals, like a fun competition. Yeah, there's going to be some awesome prizes. There's going to be all that stuff. But you'll also have the opportunity to maybe get some certifications that you haven't had time to get because you've been working, right? There ain't no excuses, but I'm trying to make it easy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like get your EMT cert, get your first aid AED cert, maybe take a course on some hard skills, right? Or you can compete and come hang out with the boys and run through the different events we're going to have. That evening, we're going to have a mixer, which is just going to be hanging with the boys. Everyone's getting awards. And this is when the relationship stuff's going to happen. This is when the magic happens. At my school, at the league, we literally have a quick hip pocket course before these events where I'm like, what's your elevator pitch? How are you going to address people? Make sure you talk to everyone in the room, okay? Like these are opportunities to do good business with good people that you're going to be in this room with. And only serious people come to events and continue training. So it's going to be a very potent spot of a lot of people that are in the game and are taking the game seriously. And then the second day, we go into the soft skills day, auditorium, crowd-led conversations on various topics with industry leaders, right? And then that night is going to be the final VIP Protector Social, where I'm basically just going to throw the biggest mansion party I can based on how many tickets we sell. And we're just going to have an amazing time you're never going to forget. Last thing I'll say, the goal of this really is to create a super networking event where I take everyone in attendance through 4 different environments, experiences. You're going to have an experience at the mixer. You're going to have an experience together training and competing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have an experience in the auditorium. People are going to get to hear your questions. You're going to get to have a conversation. Then we're going to have an experience at the VIP social. By the end of this event, I don't want you looking at a stack of cards. These are the ones I got from the last event. And being like, how can I monetize this? Like this person that I met on the floor for 5 seconds, gave my elevator speech to, gonna remember me, you know what I'm saying? When I hit him up on my exit, on the day after the event. No, I want it to be like, no, I remember Jeff. He was the guy, blah, 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 blah. We smoked a cigar at the thing. He did all right in the competition. He asked that one question. Like, this is going to be relationship building. Everyone will feel like one big family after this event. And business is the commerce of relationships, right? So
what did I have to do with that? I don't understand.
What you have to do with that is you're going to be on the stage having one of those conversations, man, and serving everybody.
All right.
So yeah, man. I mean, your topic, probably celebrity protection, of course. Maybe.
Only because, I like to talk about things that I know extremely well. Yeah, and that's the sector there. That's the sector that I spend the majority of my time in. It's not the only thing I do by far, but that's the thing I'm best known for. But it's also the thing that I think people get wrong, quite a bit in our profession. So there's misinformation that's out there. There's bad actors that are out there, but there are people that are doing it well, and those things aren't highlighted. And the last part of it is there's people who are in that space or want to get in that space, and you just don't know what you don't know. And it's the nuances of a thing. I would say, with protection work, it all has the same basic foundation, right? So whether that's protection of the clergy, whether that's corporate protection, working with celebrities, working with dignitaries, the foundational elements are the same. Those are great. You need to know those. But then as you start getting to these specialized fields, these niche areas, right? You have to be able to understand the nuances that work in that space in order to succeed. Anybody can get in. Anybody can do it. It's whether you have any longevity. It's whether you're able to operate in that space for a year, operate in that space for 5 years, operate in that space for a decade. Because I think overall, that's our goals, right? Is to do things that we like to do for a long amount of time, up until the point where we choose not to do them anymore. And I think you can fall in love and be in love in this industry. You can do what you like. I love what I do, bro. Yeah. And I can tell you love what you do because we have conversations offline. But I love what I do because I've figured out the way to make it work for me. And I've also learned how to say no. But if you don't understand the parameters, if you don't understand, where your value is, if you don't understand how to show the client the value that you provide, right? You don't put yourself in a position to say no because you need that check. Right. You know what I mean? You're worried about that job. You're worried about that callback. But the tools, and that's from me, from Anton, the other presenters that are here, the tools that you get, you're able to take those because they come from experiences. Right. And I got this little tagline. I say real world versus textbook. It's because I understand what the book says, right? I understand how you're supposed to do it, but then I make the adjustments, right, to make it practical for the field that we're in. And if you can do that, the clients notice that either overtly or innately, but that's the thing that keeps your phone ringing.
Yeah, man.
My fault, lots of words again, bro.
My man just over here dropped it. Right? That was beautiful, man. That was light as a feather and sticking. I mean, it was good, man. That was good, bro. That was good. I love it. Man, okay, so that's what you're going to get. This is going to be a client-led conference. This is going to be you guys are going to be leading the convo. Me and Elijah are going to be up there talking and literally trying to tease out questions you guys have and contribute on the highest levels. EP Expo, all the info's underneath. Go ahead.
And I just want to mention this too, because to that point. So, so I do my own podcast and a series of talks and stuff, and I do something called EPHQ. And the most popular topic that we keep going back to when we're selecting topics is the Q&A piece. You know, it's the thing because the worst thing in the world, man, is sit in the audience somewhere and have a question that's burning and it never gets discussed on the stage, right?
And you got to walk, you got to go home without even.
You sit through all of that, right? You know what I mean? And then you're like, but the thing that I had doesn't get asked. So if you put yourself in an environment, let me tell you why people go to training courses.
Let's go.
People go to training courses to learn a skill, absolutely. But they also go to network. They also go to interact with people, right?
Yes.
Now you network a couple of different ways. You network with people that are on the same level with you, right? And then you also network with people that are above you, because that way there, you expose yourself to new opportunities. You expose yourself to new mindsets, right? So if you go to something that gives you the opportunity to do both of those, to learn new skills and to meet people, but it also allows you to get your specific questions answered, I think that's like a match made in heaven. So I say all that to say, if somebody's coming to this particular event here, or anywhere you go, the questions that you have, make sure they get answered. You know what I mean? If the format doesn't allow for it, that's when you grab somebody to the side and you're like, look, you know, here's the thing. And whether that's, am I charging the right price point? Do I live in the right city? Is the sector that I've been spending my time working in right for me? You know, these things might not, the answer that you get might not be the one that you wanted, you know, or it might not be to the degree of detail that you wanted. But if you apply yourself the setting provides for that. You know what I mean? The setting allows for you to make that attempt, as opposed to, I'm just going to sit back. This dude's going to do 30-minute PowerPoint. He's going to talk about how cool he is. And then he's going to walk out the door and I'm going to be like, damn, I just spent all this money.
Yeah.
Like you're not finding the value out of that thing. And so one, I think you're on the right path with trying to set up something that allows for that. But I think your audience, which is one that doesn't think they have all the answers already, so they're inquisitive enough. And I just encourage them to have that open dialogue, to be able, like, if you're going to go there, and like you say, when they leave, make sure people remember you in some way, shape, or form.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, no, and I think on that, and you said a bunch of amazing things.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, bro. I should have.
No, it's good. Yo, you
just do like this, man, and I'll shut up.
Nah, man. Yo, I gotta let it run. You know me, man. We be here all day talking, but it's good though, man. And I think on that too, people discount the quality, the importance, and like the business value even of relationships of peers. You know, I think that a lot of guys in the game are like, oh, I'm looking to shake Elijah's hand, or is this other dude who owns a company's hand? Yeah, you're looking to shake that guy's hand. Everyone's looking to shake his hand. But a lot of your work in this game is going to come from one of your homies that you did an op with a few weeks ago, who's going to be like, yo, the company I'm working for, they need like 4 dudes. Yo, we did that thing. It was solid. You happen to be available on the bop, 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 bop. That's where like so much of your work's going to come from, is that local network of peers, to the point where like me and my guys out here, it's almost like we're like the graduating class of, you know what I mean? Like the industry, work the same details, pulled each other in on the details. Now we all got kind of PPOs and we're all kind of helping each other with staffing and supporting each other. And so I really want you guys to understand the value of that, of being in a room full of your peers who are currently doing it, because that's just tremendous as well. And of course, on top, meeting folks that can pull you up as well and introduce you to concepts.
But here's the thing, just to kind of piggyback off that. You can't tell me how good you are. I mean, you can, but it doesn't hold as much weight as if someone else says, oh yeah, that guy, he's solid. You know? And so it acts as a force multiplier. So when you meet your peers or whatever, a person that's on that same level as you, and you develop those relationships, or you come up together, your battle buddies, whatever that is in a training course, those are the people that will co-sign you. And it's that third party that adds way more legitimacy, way more weight. So I shake your hand in an event, that's great. But I know someone that knows you, and they can say, oh yeah, he's a solid guy. That's the piece there that, okay, you stick in my head.
Yep, 100%. That gives you access. I call it the good dude credit, man. You gotta is it like
Mm.
hey bro, I got this guy. He's Navy
Yeah.
SEAL. They have Delta Force. He used to be a Jedi, trained with the ninjas in Peru. And you're like, wow, this guy sounds. As an employer, I'm looking for what, like, is he a good dude? Is he a solid guy? Like, does he have that? Like, hey, there's a good solid man right here. Once I hear that, I'm good. The cool background and the lightsaber training and all that is I. But like, is he a solid dude? Is he a good
I
dude?
agree, bro.
Okay, cool. Once I hear that, I'm like, boom, I can vouch for him. You vouch for him? All right, solid. So no, you're 100 on that, man. 100%. And then, continuing training. I know a lot of us get in this game, and it's honestly, it's one of the reasons I named the slogan of the podcast is what it is. Executive protection. Protection is more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. I believe it's a way of life, and it's what you do when you're not on the job is what makes it so you can perform on the job. But what would you say about continuing training, my man? In the life of most operators out there in the game.
So here's the thing. If you look at any industry that operates at a high level, the people that do the work are busy, right? But they still have to figure out time to recertify and to keep their edge sharp. So you could be, I've got relationships with, the NBA. And so the guys that are the elite in the NBA, and they still have to carve time out of their schedule to practice, right? They still have to be coached. They still have to be critiqued by individuals who are smarter than them. Maybe that don't shoot better than them or dribble better than them, but people who know the game, right? Who can tell them and adjust things to make them even better, even if they're operating at elite level. Yep. So I say all to say is, if those dudes got to do it, we got to do it. How many NBA games do they play? You know what I mean? A year?
Yeah,
so my point is that you can't say I'm too busy, right? And trust me, bro, I'm busy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so but you have to figure out how to get it in, right? Yep. Now, training takes place in a lot of different ways. I think me and you talked about this once. I go to sleep to audiobooks, as in I put them in my ear and I go to sleep. So I have a list of the books, things that I want to get through, things that I want to learn, right? And then if I end up falling asleep, the next day when I wake up or I'm in the car or something like that, I just rewind to the last thing I remember. But the point is that I'm going to feed my mind with that versus the junk because I'm going to maximize my time. Yep. I remember Christian, he came to, he was a guest instructor at the course, and he was talking about how he worked with this very prominent client who's extremely busy. And one of the things they did while they were providing the services for them was they figured out how to best maximize his time. And one of the ways was with them taking over the driving and dealing with the logistics, that allowed him to make the phone calls he needed to make while he was in the car. So it maximized, he could take meetings from this place to this place. And so I say all to say is that, and bro, I might be going a long way around to answer the question.
This is the good stuff, man. Paint the picture. Put the ketchup on it, man. All the lettuce, all the stuff, man. Let's go.
I say all this to say is that you can get continuing education, right? In the seams, in the folds of everything that you do throughout a day. You know what I mean? And how you choose to use those 24 hours is up to you.
Yep.
You can spend it on the socials, just doing the eternal Twitter scroll.
Doom scrolling.
Yep. You could spend that time doing that. You could, watching the junk food on TV. You know what I mean? Or you could say, I'll allow myself this guilty pleasure for 30 minutes a day. And then I'll spend the rest of my day doing this, whatever that time limit is. So all that to say, bro, is that those that are new are hungry and they're coming up.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? So, that Kobe Bryant analogy, like he said, all his dudes was going and they was vacationing and they was enjoying time with their girls. And he's at a superstar level already and he's in the gym and he's just practicing. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just putting up the shots, right?
Yeah.
So there's somebody that's coming behind you that's going to come for your spot.
Yep.
They're coming for my spot, right?
They're coming for my spot, bro.
Exactly. They're coming. But I welcome that, bro.
Yeah.
Because that 100%. Means they're going to be better. But because of that, that's motivation for me. You know what I mean? I got this zombie app, right? I tell you about my zombie app.
Nah,
Okay?
man. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's for running. I don't like to run,
I
right?
hate running.
Hey,
Well, I
hey,
don't mind it for like, it's
no, 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 bro.
I'm actually starting to have a new relationship with it. I'm kind of starting to be like, you know what, let me just,
I am about to put you on game. Listen, so that was my thing. I was like, I hate running, and I was like, I got to readjust my mindset, right? And the
right.
thing I didn't really like running because I'm never engaged, right? I was like, fuck, I could be doing something else. So I found this app, and it's called Zombies, Run, and
Okay.
in the app, it's an interactive story. And it's
Okay.
like, it's The Walking Dead or something. It's like in the future, you're in the story, right? And
Okay.
in the story, you have a mission and you set
Hmm.
the time that you want, either your time or your distance for your run.
Hmm.
And then in that, you're listening to the story while you're running. So like I had to go to a hospital and pick up some antibiotics or something, right? Right. And then at certain points, the zombies come. And then you have to run a percentage faster than you're running, or you know what I mean, you get the game gives you demerits that you get marked. So that means if I'm running for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, I still have to sprint 10% faster.
Really?
So all that to say is just a simple thing made me look forward to running, because I'm like, oh, I got to finish this mission. I got to see what happens next, because they end them on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say that to say, like, it's just the mindset of a thing, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? So once you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And
Mhm.
guys and ladies that are interested in the business, they're hungry. They
Right.
want that, right? And
Right.
those of us that are in the business, particularly if we got the work, we're just like, we can find excuses,
Yeah.
right? But the point is, you can't find no excuse if a zombie's chasing after you. You're gonna have to
Zombies chasing you.
Hey, boy, I brought all the way back, all the way back.
Yeah, that was good.
Right, you're gonna have to run faster. It's the
Yeah.
same thing, bro. So go ahead. Don't do continuing training.
Yep.
Figure that you got it. You
Yep.
got a great client. You're
Yep.
so busy.
Yeah.
And that relationship ends, and every relationship ends, and you
Yes.
find yourself having to start over. You might see other cats have lapped you by then. So think about that.
Yep. 100%. Nothing will bring you closer to destruction than comfort. 100%.
That's a jewel.
Yeah, man. No, that was an OG Miles Monroe quote right there. Boy, nothing will
Mm.
bring you closer to destruction than comfort. It's been one of my, I live by that. And in this game, there's so much competence and so much evolution taking place at the same time. Like, the tech game is evolving right now. Like, like what technical protection measures do you have in place with your clients? The battlefield's just evolving so quickly and on all things, and it's so easy to get caught. And like I've gotten to the point where I don't even really listen to music, man. Like when I'm in the gym now, I listen to my moto vids. I might listen to some wordless music if I need to really think. Like in my head, I'm working an equation, man. I'm just like, how can I look at this thing? And I'm like in a meditation half the time, just working on this thing, or just trying to be right here with this relationship, right? So I can serve these relationships the best I can. And so you guys got to understand, man, like the continuing training aspect, there's so much to it. There's so much you have to evolve with, because the battle space is changing every 2 seconds. And yeah, the other dudes are born, they're more relevant because they're probably younger than you, and they're coming. You know what I'm saying? And as a leader, especially, you can only take people, like I said, man, as far as you've gone. Like I'm in the gym, you got to learn the finance, especially once you evolve from agent to team lead to project manager to company owner. These are different competencies. These are not now you're not an operator. Now you're some other things. And every level you move up, there's a wider spectrum of things you must master, leadership, marketing, the financial aspect of running a business, brand development. Like there's so you just got to be about your father's business, man. Ain't got no time to play. You know what I'm saying? Or are you going to be one of those people watching us continue to crush it online, mad about it? You know what I'm saying? And there ain't going to be nothing you can do, because these cats that are hungry, like we're talking about, they are putting daylight between those who are the comfortable ones and those who are hungry, right? And that's why I say it's more than just a job, man. It's more.
The ones who want it, will get it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Because they're going to put the work in.
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? And so when someone sits on the couch and they look at the socials and maybe they see a picture or they hear about somebody doing something or somebody receiving some accolades, and they're like, yo, why that dude and not me? Well, he wanted it.
Yeah.
And he did steps to get it.
Lots of
If you
stuff.
just sit by and just wait for the phone to ring, it might ring.
Maybe.
But you know what I mean? But what are the odds of that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And what happens at the end of that assignment, you know?
Yeah.
But there's guys who are really putting in those reps, getting ready and staying ready. One of a mutual guy, Alex. Alex, yeah.
Yeah, man. Man. I love it. Yo, I love Alex, man. Yo, Alex.
I didn't want to say his last name because then all the cats be,
Alex Turner. Yeah, man. Alex Turner.
I wasn't going to say his last name. You got to edit it, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Load up, whatever.
I don't mind giving Alex some props, man. What's up? Anyway, well, I don't know what you're going to say.
Well, I was saying, no, I was like, yo, cat's going to be hitting him up now. But anyway, my point was Alex is a guy who puts in the work.
Yep.
And he's reaping the rewards, but he didn't skip steps.
Yep.
And he continues, right, to keep pushing. So here's the point, though. I gave him a call the other day because I know he was just finishing a big international op.
Yep.
And I had this last minute thing I had to spin up. And I called him and I said, hey, is your visa active for the kingdom? Is it active for Saudi Arabia? Because I had to send somebody over to Saudi Arabia real quick, and I knew it was going to be a second for the visa, but it was a super last minute thing. So I was just taking a chance to see if that was the case. So all I did was ask him that, and he goes, "No, I didn't go to Saudi yet, so I don't have a visa for that." I was like, "All right, cool." Jumped off the phone because I had to again fill his position. The next day, he hit me talking about he was filling out the paperwork for the visa. And he had a question about it. And I was like, yo, bro, are you talking about the thing that I was talking about? And he was like, yeah, you hit me about it. So I just figured I would get on it right away. And that, bro, because I had to get somebody who already had the visa in hand and put them on a plane within 24 hours.
Yep.
But that right there, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was no promise of a job. I just asked him if he had something.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, I was just getting ready in case you call me back and tap me. But that's the kind of hunger and the mindset that you want to have. And if you stay on something like that, even when you have opportunities that come your way and you put the work in, if you're always pushing, oh, I'm deficient in here. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I'll take a gamble on this. Oh, I'll increase my resources in the area right here. Those things pay off in the long run.
100%. Yeah, no, Alex is one of those guys, man. And just success leaves clues unless you're clueless. He positioned himself to win. Now he is armed with additional capabilities to answer that call next time it comes in. Right there, you identified for him a vulnerability and an advantage. He's like, yo, so if I did have this, like I could hop on something like that.
Yes.
Say less, fam. Say less. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he needed. These guys that need a carrot in order to get in motion, they're the guys that get left behind. It's got to be intrinsic, right? You need an internal locus of control. I'm acting on the world, not waiting for the world to act on me. I remember when Alex was coming through my program, there was one call, because I do my calls with all the students twice a month. There's one call, nobody showed up. This was in the beginning. Now these calls are lit, but nobody showed up. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll get the night off. Like I was just getting ready to hop off, And then Alex pops in the classroom, the digital classroom over Zoom. And I'm like, well, I guess we get a one-on-one. And we sat there and had a one-on-one. He got everything he could get, scraping just everything he could get out of me. And that's when I knew. I was like, this dude's going to be just fine, man. Like he's going to kill the game. Blink, he's, traveling, doing all the things that during that call, he was like, yo, like, you really think this is going to work? Like you really, and I'm like, yeah, dog. See what I see, do what I do, have what I have. I've been in the game. Me and you can recognize it. It was like training day. You got that magic eye, man. You got that magic eye, Hoyt. You know what I'm saying? Right. I love it, man. So contribution, man. Switching gears a little bit. Contribution is something I lead with, something that's big. But we were having a conversation offline about this and about people feeling like they need to be perfect before making contribution. Now, of course, there's like an interesting line to toe with this, because you want to make sure things that are going out are good. But let's touch on that, if you don't mind, real quick for the folks.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think a few things with that. One is that everybody can contribute on different levels,
right?
And I think even if you go into a classroom like an elementary school, right? You've got the teacher, and then there's like a teacher's assistant. And the teacher's assistant can do things that help the students
The
in those
class.
classrooms. Yeah, exactly. But they might not be at, the main teacher's level, or a paralegal versus the attorney, right? They're things that are a setup. So my point is that I think people shy away from their own contributions. Now, with that said, I don't believe that you should fake it till you make it, or
not in this game.
Right. Or you should approach things fugazi, meaning like, you know what I mean? Like, everything about all things. And but I think it's the misconception that you can't teach something to somebody that you know because you don't know everything. And because that, and I think social media really contributes to that, you feel like you got to know everything. And so if you want to teach, right? If you want to share some knowledge, you got to be an expert in every area in order to do that. And I don't think that's right. So one, for instructors, I think we should know our own parameters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then two, for those that have something, we were talking about this offline, and you gave this great, what was the analogy about the belts?
Yeah, man. Like, I was like, yo, man, like, and you're 100% correct. Social media really does perpetuate this whole like perfection, false perfection kind of I need to be perfect thing. But I was like, look, man, if you're a blue belt, you can help everyone underneath you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a yellow belt, maybe you focus on white belts. There's whole entire schools dedicated to first time gun owners. If you're in this game, maybe you don't have all the answers, but you can help a lot of people that are just trying to get in the game. And so I just want people never to be afraid to contribute and give what they have if it's working, out here in the game. Because I'd like to create a place where everybody's making contributions. People are focused on, let me give you what I got. And that's what was not in existence when I started, man. When I started, it was like everybody was like, yeah, I got my cards, figure it out. And I was like, well, I'm black, so my dad was gone my whole life, so I'm used to this. No, I'm just joking.
Start it up, bro.
I be getting crazy on here. I had some great mentors, but one of the things that me and I started Executive Protection Lifestyle with a close friend, and he was kind of thinking, yo, let's aim at the top. Let's aim at creating something that is for the elites of the industry. And I was like, I'm not that, I'm not that, I was like, and this is when I was in my 20s when I started. I was like, I know I can help people from here down because I'm right here, and not down, but like people that have experiences within what they're about to go through that I can help them navigate because I've navigated those experiences. So I think there's something to be said about being authentic and not despising small beginnings. Long answer guy over here.
No. I like that. I just think that when we're learning something, or when we're trying to express something, there's a danger of like boosting our resume.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think if we're aware that part isn't necessary in order to be able to contribute to something,
right,
then things kind of come into play,
into focus,
right? In the focus, right? So Cass was urging me to like write a book for a long time. They're like, write a book, and I was like, yo, I'm not a good writer, but he's like, write a book. But celebrity protection, I know,
and kill it.
I've done this for a really long time, and the book is about the majority of the mistakes I make. You know what I mean?
Right.
I am not going to write a book about my time in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are people that act like they do all of these different things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
At the highest levels. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. No, 100%. I love it.
Have I worked in non-permissive environments? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But that's not the piece that I need to focus on, right? What I would focus on in terms of educating people and giving them these gifts are the things that I'd spend a lot of time in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do a part of my course right now. I do a module on private aviation EP.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I'm on planes all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I didn't have one when I was on the plane. So I'm like, these are the best practices that I've learned. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can share those best practices with people like, oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't let the pilot get away with this, or the FBO tell you this, because this will make things more efficient.
Right.
And those are pieces there. So no, I've never flown a plane, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can't, but at the same time, I've learned enough that I can pass it on to the next person from a space that incorporates experience and a very solid foundation.
And confidence.
And I think that's what the industry would be better if we didn't feel like we had to pump up our credentials in every sector, right? You know, all the way to the max. But also, if we also didn't feel like, oh, this person doesn't have anything to contribute because they haven't done it for as long as XYZ.
Right. 100%, perfectly said. I had a client who was a very accomplished individual in the speaking realms, and he said, "Never talk about anything that you don't feel you know everything. Like, not everything, but never talk about anything you're not extremely comfortable with. Like, you can get into an argument from the stage anytime. You must have supreme competence. Obviously, there's more to learn." He's like, "But if you're going to let it out your mouth in the public sector, make sure it's something that you can rest in your capabilities on. If someone wants to challenge."
And I think that's great, because what happens is the people who are above that, right?
Right.
Can see through it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't do you any good. So if I use that pilot analogy, I'm not going to be talking about some of the avionics on the plane and stuff like that, because I don't know that stuff. You know what I mean? You know, but I know what emergency exit is. I know how to pop that joint. You know what I mean? I know where to look for the life raft. You know, I know the questions to ask, if you know, and I know where to search for hidden cameras on the plane, etc. Those things I do know. So it's the presentation, and I think it's the perspective. Right. And if we approach things with the right perspective, one, from learning a thing, and also from delivering a thing as instructors, then we'll service our industry.
100%. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, man. No, that's good stuff. And that's kind of why I started my stuff the way I started, is because, like, yo, I know that I don't know everything, but I know what I can talk about. And when I get challenged on it, I know I'll be able to rest in that conversation with, like, no, this is what I'm doing Monday through Friday, and this is what actually works. This is what's been working for me. You might have a good point, and what you're saying might be another way to do it. But I know if I tell someone to do it this way, they're probably going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Yo, switching gears a little bit into something I know the industry wants to hear about, kind of a little more CEO stuff, man. You know, want to get some of that out of you. What would you say? How do you deal with bad apples, man? You ever had somebody in the company or on a team that you had to navigate, you know, discipline or keeping your team the level you want it to be dealt with? I know a lot of guys out there who own companies are dealing with this equation, myself included.
Yeah. Well, I think a few things. One is, I love the fact that you even brought up something business related, because so much of, you know, a lot of times we spend our time, you know, talking and you know, about the sizzle stuff, right? The guns and ammo and all of that kind of stuff. However, it is the business of executive protection. And being in a business means we have to understand business principles. And part of that is dealing and managing personalities and personnel, whether that's the clients, our staff, our independent contractors, the entourage, whatever that is. So so it pays to learn about those pieces there. And you know, I always say, like, just how we want to, you know, learn some type of martial art, doesn't matter which one. There's some that you might feel are more effective than others.
You don't break the whole internet. You don't break the whole internet.
I know. I had to make sure.
They got the Judy chop and the karate chop out right now.
That's how we want to learn judo. We want to learn verbal judo. And that was the piece I was just trying to get at, right? So those things there. So back to your original question, have I had difficult employees or difficult staff and I've had to figure that out? Absolutely. But what I kind of pride myself, and again, this is a trial and error thing, is understanding the human element, is trying to figure out the best fit for the organization and for the client if I'm putting somebody with them, or for the dynamic of the team, and trusting myself and being able to make the tough choices if I got to rotate somebody out, if you're not working. You know, here's the thing, bro. In our industry, everybody, you know, has these business cards or these websites, even independent contractors, and they go, I'm the best at this, the professional this, and all these types of things. If you're going to say that, you're going to have to do that with me. The thing that you say, you're going to have to do, right? So if you're XYZ professional and you come with, you know, the suit on and the bummy sneakers, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just just do what you say. Now,
Right.
if not, right, if I didn't, you put somebody on a detail and the client requests them it's a black tie event, right? And you tell the guy, hey, you got a suit, right? They're like, yeah. If you've never seen that suit and they show up with the 18-button pimp suit on or something, but wait, but that's your fault, though. That's our fault, right? You know, because we didn't say, yo, send me a picture of you in the suit that you're going to wear that night.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I encounter these things, throughout my career or through the company and something, I'm like, yo, where did I mess up? Where did I miss because the writing was on the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like with the attack, the pre-incident indicators.
Yeah,
it's the
100%.
Staffing. You know what I mean? There's something that we didn't ask the right question. We didn't present the right scenario that would have given us the indication. Because usually when something happens, we go, man, I knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean?
My gut told me this. I had a feeling,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, there's nothing worse than that. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Because you already know that. So all that to say, because that was a lot, to say sometimes you do have to make the tough choices in the beginning.
Yeah.
If something doesn't feel right, if you don't think it's the right fit, or if, here's somebody who you would love to give an opportunity to, but you don't think it's going to work out, don't force it.
Yeah.
Because if something does happen and you already knew that, you're just doing is kicking yourself.
Right.
So just like if you say you're a boss, if you have CEO on your card or whatever, then you need to act like it, right?
Right.
And that means that if someone is coming under your umbrella, if somebody is coming under your brand, they're going to need to position themselves right. And you're going to have to take responsibility of that. So if somebody messes up, you got to own that. And 100%. I think I got to bring that back to us too, because we do training courses.
Yeah.
Obviously, people come through the courses. We can't control every aspect of their lives, whether when they come in to the business or what they do after they leave our doors. But we should as instructors, try and have that discernment where we can see where it makes sense. Like, okay, this is a fit, or no, you know what? Actually, I don't think I'll pass on the money on this one here. This person here, I don't think is set up right in order. You know what I mean? Like It's like you can't come to me, speaking again from my niche, celebrity protection. At the same time, you talking to me about being a music producer. It ain't gonna work, bro. Right? You know what I mean? Because heaven forbid, you know what I mean? You get out there with one of the clients and you start trying to pass from the beat tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had this client. She was very popular at the time. She was a VJ when they had the music video shows and, back in the day.
I was in high school.
Right?
I was in high school, yeah. I love it.
Shot, bro. She was a very popular VJ. She calls me up and she goes, hey, Elijah, I got to go down to Miami, or I'm in Miami and I got to make the appearance at this event. Do you have one of your guys here? And I didn't have anybody in Miami at the time. And I was like, no, but I can fly somebody out. She's like, no, it's in the next couple hours. I just accepted it. And I said, well, there's this one guy. And what happens is I've used this guy when I've come into town with clients, and he's a support guy. And anytime I've come to town, he's beneficial, right? He does what's asked, etc.
But this is solo.
This is solo.
He got the ball. Yeah.
You don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've got this one guy. I was like, he's not an icon guy, but da-da. She says, no, Elijah, that's fine. This was a long time ago, too. I just started a company. No, I didn't say just started a company. It was early on.
Yeah. Not last week.
I said, it wasn't last week, right? Let me try and figure out who it is. But she goes, no, it's fine. Like, the big thing is people like to take pictures with me, and they try and slide their hand down my dress or something. So I just want somebody to be around. No problem. Call a guy, tell him. He's very appreciative of the opportunity. He's like, I got it. Again, it was a last minute thing. So the P was going to meet him over there because he was going to go over there, do a quick, hasty advance for this red carpet. She sends me a message, or maybe I send her a message. I said, how things are going? Ask how things are going. And her response was LOL or something. And I was like, uh-oh.
Like I already just get, I can feel it. Like, here we go.
So here's the scene.
Yeah.
Red carpet event. he's walking her around the red carpet, you know, in front of her is this other A-list artist. And he sees him and he's like, yo, that's my guy right there. I love him. And he reaches in his pocket. And I'll tell you how long ago this is. He pulls out, you remember the Kodak camera in the yellow pocket? He reaches in his suit pocket. He pulls out a disposable camera. He goes, I got to get a picture.
That's impossible.
Hold on. Stop, bro.
I'm dying. Okay, go ahead.
He then asks the protectee to take the picture.
on
the red carpet, bro.
I can't.
I'm lying, I'm dying, bro.
I can't. Like literally, this is just, I'm on the phone, ma'am. Just say the word and I'll take my own life. Just say the word. Just say the word, I take my own life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and again, this was earlier in my career. I'm like, I'm doomed.
What? Took like 10 minutes off my life just hearing the story, man.
I'm mortified,
God bless him, wherever he is, man.
I'm mortified. And I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry. I was like, it was late. I was like, yo, I'll jump on a plane right now and come out there. She's like, hey, wait, here's the best part. She took the picture.
Oh, of course she did.
Yeah, because she's like, if you got the balls to ask me,
you know what?
I'm going to do it.
I'll take it. Man, there's probably pictures of her taking the picture.
Bro, mortified.
Oh, man.
And you know, and so, again, she's a very good sport. She's like, Elijah, you already told me it wasn't one of your main guys or whatever.
You built in the disclaimer.
Built in the disclaimer, whatever, you know. Thank God I did.
Yeah.
But I remember I talked to him after that, you know. Yeah. I didn't say anything at the time because I wanted him to get, you know, her back in the hip. Yep, exactly. Yeah, do that, not make it uncomfortable, any more awkward. And I was like, let me ask you a question. Yo, did you...
Yo, bro.
And I was like, yo, do me a favor. I was like, take a look at your phone right now.
Yeah.
I was like, take a look at your phone right now. I said, you see what says my name and number? Hit the delete button. just like literally, yo, bro. It was a long time ago. So, yo, if you're listening to this, you can still leave my phone. Like, still keep it deleted. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But my point is, like, yo, but that was on me.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know what I mean? Meaning like me telling the P, like, yo, this isn't one of my main guys.
Right.
Because I knew I'm trying to promote a certain level of service. You know what I mean?
Right.
And of course, when similar situations have come throughout my career, that's always in the back of my head. Yeah. You know? And so it's like, yo, you know, Mark James, he says, hey, I don't work with people I don't train with. Like, and it's like, I understand that philosophy
100%.
And because something like this can happen, you know what I mean?
Right.
But again, that was the horror story.
Yeah.
Because I want, if you want to do protective services, that's what I want you to do. You know what I mean? If you want to do music, go do that over there. If you want to do film, go do that over there. You know what I mean? Like whatever that thing is. Like doesn't mean you don't have interest in other things.
Right.
Keep them things so under wrap that it doesn't send up a red flag to the person, the business owner, et cetera, who's making those decisions and putting, because that's the thing that doesn't jeopardize just you, right? It jeopardizes the entire brand. It jeopardizes the relationship. You know, let's say there was 3 other people working at detail. You know, the client might not want to use you again. All of a sudden, you stop 3 other people's families from getting a check. You know what I mean? Yep. So we have to make sure we're thinking about that.
Man, that was an amazing story, bro.
I've never told that one over the air. Like, you know,
that was hot,
I might have told you that in private, but
man. No, and I love that, man. And I love that. And it really goes into like the preparation and the understanding of the people that you're putting on these details to represent your brand, man, because your brand will pay the price. The whole wolf pack, the whole pride's going to pay the price when opportunities get taken off the table. And there's something to be said for what is expected etiquette, you know, what is expected etiquette when it comes to a lot of things, man. Like I ask dudes, you know, we'll get pro photos from dudes like, hey, resume pro photo type of situation. And you wouldn't believe the stuff I get sent. I got photos of dudes in the gym, no shirt on, taking a selfie, like, you know, and I'm still cool. I'll call a dude up and be like, hey, man, Like, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, let me just put you on game, man. You know what I mean? And sometimes I find out that they're really actually good dudes that are hungry, but they just didn't know any better. No one ever told them. They don't have any professional training, like to teach them how to be professional. I go to their LinkedIn and they're out there looking all like, however they're looking. And I'm like, my man, like, you're a good dude, but the perception of this might put a glass ceiling on you, So it's real. It send it. What you got? Send what you got.
What? No. I'm listening.
No, I mean, and so, but yeah, on that, man, there's a lot to be said. All the things as a company owner that you don't think you should have to say, I just say them now, man. I let it rip. Like, hey, bro, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this. When you send your check-in photo, make sure it's because it is all on you, and that, I think that's the central point here. Everyone on the tribe is an extension of the brand, man. So that's huge.
I love it, bro.
Yo, real quick update on what are you seeing right now in the celebrity game? Where do you feel it's going with everything going on? I know that a lot of screenwriting is going digital. Maybe AI is taking pieces of things. Is there anything that you're seeing in celebrity protection right now that's different than what you were seeing maybe pre-COVID, or anything worth mentioning?
Well, I'm still champion for people that are interested in this part of the industry, the touring space.
Yeah.
And a couple of things that happened. So, obviously back in the day, artists used to tour quite a bit. Then everybody started making money off of the music itself because they started realizing the values of record deals and et cetera. But then, streaming and digital piracy kind of came out, and that kind of upset that apple cart. And so what artists started doing was instead going back to touring more so they can keep more of that revenue. And if they're out there moving around in the general public, there's a need for protectors. And so we had COVID and we had a big pause for a lot of people. And it was during that time that I kept saying, keep training, keep figuring out how to make yourself better because it's going to end, this whole thing, this craziness in the world. And once they got on the other side, right, because these artists aren't touring it, right? They're going to tour like crazy.
Yeah.
And that hasn't stopped.
It's like a spring. Like the second that door opened up, boom. Yeah, I watched it too.
Car notes and mortgages or whatever to pay. So they got to get out there on the road. So I say all to say is there's a great opportunity if you're interested in working in the celebrity sector, the marketplace, to get out and get on the road. And then, like anything else, the cream rises to the top, right?
Right.
So yeah, there might be a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of shit opportunities as well, right? So why not position yourself to be able to pick and choose those prime ones, in whatever way whatever your litmus is for that. So I want to make a lot of money. Okay, this account's paying a lot. I want the opportunity to travel the world to exotic places. This account, this particular artist, they do this. I want the opportunity to only have to work half the year. This is an account. So my point is that if you're strategic with it, right? And part of that strategy has to be getting a high level of training and getting that experience, right?
Right.
And then picking and choosing where you're going. If you're strategic with it, like that's a great avenue to be in.
Right.
But what happens is that people think that close protection is a low cost of entry business, and it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means that you've paid money to take a course or you quit your job so you can do something. So you're going to say yes to the first thing that comes along.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever that artist is or whatever that artist baggage that comes with that or the liability that comes with that, and you're going to put yourself in a position maybe you can't get out of now because you need that check. Right? You know what I mean? So you want to set yourself up for success. So a lot of words again, just to say that I think the touring space still has a lot of life in it, a lot of legs in it, a lot of time for opportunities. But you mentioned something, I think earlier, the cyber piece.
Yes.
Educating yourself in that, you are going to have the opportunity to give yourself to be a big fish in a small pond. There's not a lot of people who do it.
Yeah.
In the celebrity space. What happens is these celebrities have to go into a different sector in order to get services like that done. And that means they're hiring somebody else for that, right? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if you're an agency owner, why wouldn't you want to pull somebody who specializes in that? Or if you're somebody who's trying to make yourself known in the marketplace, why wouldn't you want to let me learn something like this? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And these are things that create that distinction. So then someone looks at them like, oh, you know that? You know what I'm saying? Think about this.
We can handle that, sir.
And you, sir, as well. The amount of people who use social media, you're on the socials, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's so many people who consume social media, but don't necessarily understand social media, right?
Right.
So if a client has a potential stalker, there's value in me knowing how to do a Twitter search.
Right.
Know how to do a keyword search. You know what I mean?
Right.
Knowing how to filter out. But there's so many protectors that don't know how to do that.
Right.
But I see you on the socials all day long.
Right.
So you're consuming a thing as opposed to mastering a thing, right?
Yeah. No.
And just a little slight tweak, you could become an expert at that thing, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you spend so much time on anyway. And so there's value in that. So again, so you take an artist who, has a stalker or has a challenge in the press or something like that, and you know how to do those types of searches, that type of data collection, that type of aggregation, right? All of a sudden, you have immense value to them or their team. And those are pieces that I think, those are emerging markets, things that I can see people specializing, drilling down more into that specific niche. And the people that do, when they come across my desk, I perk up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether for myself or if there's a recommendation.
Yep, 100%. No, I love that, man. The space is alive and well, it's blowing up, and we are getting more and more. We're getting, and it's just wisdom, get as many edges as you can, really, that are relevant to who you are called to serve, who you want to serve. No, I love it, man. Good stuff. Last couple questions. I know you probably got to run. Let me get one or two more. We good? Standardization of training, big conversation in the industry right now. How do you feel about
it? All right. So I remember I went to one of the conferences and I sat on a panel and that question was asked. And I'm all for standardization if it's a level playing field. And I don't think we're in a position where we have a level playing field. In society as a whole, there are gatekeepers, right? And so you're going to have that same thing in the microcosm, which is the close protection industry, right? And so if someone gets to say, this is authentic and this is not, well, you can't tell me that, right?
Yeah, because I'm doing it. You can't tell me that.
Exactly. You can't tell me that. Now, again, in theory, I love the concept,
the
right?
concept. Yeah.
And the practicality, because right now, particularly when I started, I wouldn't have made that. I wouldn't have made the cut. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have got into the cool guys club or whatever.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's half the reason I made my own table. That's why half the reason I took my own ball and went and played by myself.
I get that. Now, because of that, you, me, whoever has that same mindset could open themselves up to criticism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is fine. It has to come with that, right? But you're not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me that I can't eat because I'm not eating with you to pay for your buffet.
Your way.
You can't tell me that, right? And I would look crazy trying to tell somebody else that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I want standards.
Yeah.
But I want ethics in the industry. I can't impose my ethics on someone else, right?
Right.
And then when I talk about ethics, if I talk about ethics, and I have a portion of this in the course.
Let's go.
When we talk about ethics, I tell the class right in the beginning, I'm like, you guys are all going to say the right answer publicly, right? You know what I mean? That's just how human behavior
That's
works,
a human being, yeah.
But you're going to make a different decision as an individual behind closed doors, right? So it's the same thing. So you can't standardization, equality, you know what I mean? Better for the industry, et cetera. Those are all great buzzwords, right?
Oh yeah, it briefs well.
Yeah, but the practicality is that for you to say this is right means you're saying that this is wrong, and I just don't see it because you can't tell me as different as the way they do
corporate is to celebrity is to.
Been to China. I've been to Beijing.
No, I haven't been to China yet.
You haven't?
No, I don't want to.
Been a couple times to China, but the way the protective teams operate over there, we would be like, "Yo, that's funny. That's weird.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? You know what I mean? Like we would laugh at that kind of stuff. And I see it. I see people laughing on the socials when somebody posts something. It's effective for them. It works for them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that ours is the only way to do a thing.
Right.
When clearly around the world, they have different ways of doing it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I remember, I think I was in South Africa, something like that. And there was, I had to interface with a team over there and they kind of met me I was in Nigeria. I had to interface with a team over there. And the team that picked me up, they all picked me up in these black suits with bright red ties. Yeah. And it looked funny as shit, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, well, why you guys all dressed like this? Culturally or in their environment, that's fine.
100%.
So, but over here, we're like just taking the piss when we see the video or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I say all to say is that I love those things conceptually.
Right.
But there's a reason why we don't have a national standard because I'm the national director of an organization called North American Bodyguard Association. We're the sister organization to a company called the British Bodyguard Association. My point is that I spend a lot of time with my finger on the pulse of UK politics as well, and the regulation system. And over there, they have one entity, one agency that kind of regulates all of that. And I hear the
I do too. I hear that just.
There's pros to it, but there's a lot of and a lot of people that gripe with that. You know what I mean? It's a money-making organization. Is this? Whatever the issue of the individual is. But I'm saying it exists. But with that said, you can't tell me that if you're not a part of that you're not doing real close protection work. It's not true.
Right. It's just not true.
It's just not true. Right. Right. So I would love it. That was again a lot of words to say.
No, it's beautiful.
I would love it, but I don't think the practicality is there. And I'm happy to debate anyone who would feel otherwise. And I wish all of the organizations that are trying to do something for the good of the industry, I wish them all well.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I wish them all well as well. And I agree with you 100%. My biggest concern is that it would become weaponized. And
oh, bro, you're not coming to the cookout, just so we're clear.
Yeah. And Elijah Shaw was never on a panel ever again after getting that response. And he was never seen at the conference ever again.
What happened?
I'm just saying what I thought. I thought I could just say what I thought. Yeah. Oh man!
Wait, that I think about it. That was my last conference.
I know it was. I'm sure it was. I was literally like this ninja.
No, I don't know if that was a coincidence or not.
Oh man, maybe it was. God bless him, But yeah, man, no, that's what I'm worried about too. I'm just like, And I was in a scuffle the other day, and I don't be getting in these on social media, but every once in a while, my flesh, And I was like, if I'm given a fair chance, I love targets. I love someone saying, this is the standard, like this is the qual. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to crush that, right? Like we're going to 100% over deliver. That's just what we do. Like it's a point of, there's a point of pride. Like, no, we're not the standard. We're the golden standard as people,
I love it.
And I got raised in a household with my grandma who actually went through a lot being Black and, the old heads. I love the old heads. And they're like, you got to be twice as smart. You got to be twice as strong. You got to be twice. So that's kind of how I was raised. You mix that with an immigrant family from the Bahamas where it's like, son, we going to work harder than everybody else out here. And that's how we going to make it. That's who I am as a being. Right. So I hear standards. I'm like, oh yeah, show me the target, dog. Like where's the bar at? Where the bar at, dog? We going to be dunking on, we going to be, so, but yeah, that is my other concern is that one, there's so many different client demographics and ways that you serve those demographics. There's so much within the full spectrum of what we do that's an interesting nut to crack. And then on top of that is I just want to make sure that if that something like that does get in place, just show me the target. And if I hit the target, like I don't want to see it get weaponized because I understand human nature, So that's good stuff, man. But overall, I love it. It briefs well,
Yeah, right.
100%. Okay, solid. So ultimately, I know there was one other thing you mentioned. You've got a course coming up. We've already given extreme value in this episode, but I want you to mention, what you got coming up as well, so that people can follow you, because this is the man when it comes to celebrity protection and touring.
Now, I've got a course. I know you teach a course, so thank you for even allowing me the platform right there to talk about it. But
yeah, man,
but I teach a course on executive protection on June 22nd. I'm assuming
Let's
this is
go.
before
This
that.
is dropping next Monday, bro.
Okay,
this is coming in hot.
So on June 22nd, we have a course coming out. It's the Icon Celebrity and VIP Protection course. That's a 5-day class where we go through everything from working with the paparazzi, dealing with the different sectors in the inside that particular space. So that's working with musicians, working with athletes, working with actors and actresses. And then we have elements on the red carpet. So we got that. And then followed right behind that is starting on the 27th until July 1st is the advanced course. And the advanced course is I bring in these subject matter experts and we really kind of drill down into certain sectors. So, one of them is Joe Atura from Vehicle Dynamics Institute. Joe has a program on vehicle-centric defensive tactics. So fighting in and around the vehicle, where we spend the majority of our time, and we understand as protectors, the majority of incidents happen. Mm-hmm. I got Benjamin Alozi, who is he handles a lot of our operations internationally. Benjamin's from Nigeria, and he speaks 9 languages.
These cats, these international cats are crazy with these languages. God bless them, man.
Nuts, bro. Like it was like 5 places we've traveled, and we get there, he starts talking to him in the language that he's in, right? And I'm just like, I love having you here, bro.
Yeah. Like, dude just whipped out the next language.
But, having somebody like him teach a portion of the program, whatever, it just gives a whole new perspective, right? Because he, and there's things that I've learned from him over the decades that we've worked together. Just, it's like, I approach things as a Westerner. I approach things, from the perspective of somebody who's born in the United States, and you perform protective operations overseas, particularly in some of the, semi-permissive environments, you could find yourself in a world of trouble. So bringing in people like that. So I've got, I mentioned earlier that the module I have on executive protection and private aviation. So I take things that from my experiences and things that I wanted to get better at, or once I learned it, I wanted to make sure I see there's a space in the marketplace where people could learn more about these things to make them better protectors. And I put them into a 10-day course. And that's extremely challenging for me because, like I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, I spend the majority of my week working operationally. So I'm out in the field working with clients. The great part of that is everything I talk about is contemporary. The challenging part of that is I only get to do courses a couple of times a year. So if somebody's interested, they can, I'm sure you'll throw a link or something to my website and my contact information. They can jump on there to find that. And if you can't make the course for whatever reason, you can see me at the conference, right?
Let's go.
And we can chat it up there. Oh, the last thing though, I should probably mention though.
Yes, sir.
Book, right?
Yeah, man. Come on, man. This book, I read this book and it was awesome.
So I am the co-author of 2 books. One is my brainchild, which is an introduction to celebrity protection touring. That book is written by me and an amazing gentleman named Dale L. June, who's a retired member of the United States Secret Service and a prolific, that's it, right?
That's it.
And Dale has also written a book called Introduction to Executive Protection.
Legendary.
Which, many consider it the Bible of our industry. And when Dale created a new edition, he asked me to contribute a few chapters. So I've got a co-writing credit on Introduction to Executive Protection. Both of those books are available online, the Amazons, the Barnes and Nobles, on my website. And they also are both available in audiobooks. So if you go to Audible or Apple Books or iTunes, you can jump on there and grab those kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my plug, bro. Thank you for letting me plug it. But I think the cool part is that even though if somebody on the outside was looking at us, they might go, oh, these guys are in competition. It's really not, You
gotta upgrade them. You gotta upgrade them thoughts, man.
You're looking at it the wrong way. But what we do is we push each other. And then we critique each other. But when we critique each other, it happens behind closed doors. And I think that's better for the industry, right?
100%.
Because everybody likes the drama. Everybody likes to see the car wreck. unless you're in the car wreck, unless it's one of your relatives, or unless you're driving down the street and now suddenly you're stuck in traffic. So instead, why don't we do things that prevent the car wreck? Bro, that was my moment of the day. I'm gonna shut up now.
No, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. The industry needed to hear that, man. Like, let's just be respectful, reach out to each other. Don't take money off the table for people. See if you can help somebody upgrade, man. I love that. I love that. I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way 100%. And I respect that. It's respectful, you know? Dale June as well, he was on our podcast as well. So if you guys want to hear a little bit more about him, go back. You know, your boy got 200 some odd episodes.
Joe,
this is the largest library of real world EP content in the world. The largest video library of EP content in the world. Let's go.
So clearly you have some contribution, right? Is that what we're saying?
I do my best, man. I try to be consistent. Yeah, man.
Good shit, man.
Hey, boom, Elijah Shaw, one of our elite instructors, EP Expo, come spend a weekend with us. It's going to be off the hook. He's always making huge contributions. He's got an app out there. They doing meetups, phones, all those different things, man. And it's been an honor to be able to do my career with him, supporting one another and making the best contributions we can together, man. Thank you so much.
Good stuff, bro. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you in person soon.
Yes, let's go. It's going to be good. Boom. Boom! Quick shout out to our sponsor, Staccato, my first pistol sponsor. I've been sponsored by a lot of companies, right, over the years. But when it comes to pistol, that's my bread and butter. Pistol is something I believe in. You know, I'm a competitive shooter. You know, we're shooting anywhere from, 800 rounds a month type of thing, right? So Staccato, being what I believe, is one of, if not the most complete handguns you can put in your hand. It's got every component that a handgun could have, should have. They're actually extremely dependable now that they've made some changes, and these things are straight up tack drivers. If you're looking for a pistol that will do as much of the work for you as a piece of hardware can, obviously you have to have the marksmanship and all the different things, but different guns perform at different levels. And I want to say that Staccato is one of, by far, for sure, take it from a competitive shooter, we're shooting the highest volumes of rounds constantly right now. Not used to have a background guy, but like right now, when you go shoot, you're gonna see certain brands. Staccato is one of, if not the highest performing firearm that is both CCW, duty ready, and also competitive ready. So I want to give them a shout out. If you guys are looking for a good handgun to build your skills on top of, go check out Staccato. Much love and respect. Boom. When it comes to the technology you use to protect your home, there's nothing better than Deep Sentinel. AI-driven, human-monitored technology that will keep you and your family safe for the same price you're paying for whatever Ring doorbell system you have. Check out Deep Sentinel. It's such an honor to join forces with these guys. They should be in every single house in the world. Get real-time Overwatch for you and your loved one. And for 10% off, depending on when you're watching this, don't forget to use code Byron at checkout. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions.